Let's talk about attraction, but not just any attraction. The kind that has men chasing you, wanting more, and feeling that pull they can't quite explain. Picture this. You walk into a room and every eye is on you. Not because you're trying to stand out, but because you naturally radiate an energy that draws people in. That's the kind of magnetic force we're talking about today. But here's the twist. It's not about playing games, pretending to be someone you're not, or acting distant to make him want you more. It's about tapping into the energy and confidence that already exist within you and letting that energy do the work. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, what if my last relationship didn't work out? What if everything feels like it's falling apart? Here's the thing, don't worry. The universe has a funny way of rearranging things so that what's meant for you will always find its way back. Napoleon Hill once said, "Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve." If you believe you're worthy of the love you desire, it will come to you. The road to attraction isn't a straight path, but the detours, those lessons and experiences, are just setting the stage for something even better. Grab a comfy seat, take a deep breath, and let's get ready to create a magnetic energy that will have him wondering where you've been all his life. And before we jump in, if you're ready to unlock the secrets of being irresistible, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for some powerful tips that will totally transform the way you approach love. Now, here's your first fun affirmation. I am the one he can't resist. Write it in the comments, shout it out loud, and claim that power. The universe is already lining things up, and trust me, you're going to love what's coming next. Number 1, the power of self-respect. Know your worth. Let's dive into the first secret, the power of self-respect. Know your worth. Now, you might be wondering, what does self-respect have to do with making a man chase me? And the answer is everything. Imagine this. You're like a beautiful diamond, rare, valuable, and shining brightly. But here's the thing. No one is going to chase a diamond that's buried in the dirt, right? A diamond needs to be polished, cared for, and showcased for its brilliance. Similarly, when you know your worth and stand strong in your self-respect, you naturally attract people who recognize your value. Now, let's take a real-life example. Meet Sarah. She's in a relationship where at first she didn't hold strong boundaries. She'd let little things slide, constantly putting the other person's needs before her own. But over time, she realized something important. She wasn't feeling valued. So she started setting clear boundaries. She communicated her needs, prioritized herself, and didn't settle for less than she deserved. At first, her partner was a bit surprised, but guess what? Over time, her self-respect made her even more attractive. Suddenly, she wasn't the woman always trying to please. She was the woman who commanded respect. And when you command respect, people start chasing you, not the other way around. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I set boundaries and he pulls away? Here's where Napoleon Hill's wisdom comes in. The starting point of all achievement is desire. If you desire respect, you must first respect yourself. This means that the energy you give off sets the tone for how others will treat you. If you respect yourself enough to set boundaries and make your needs clear, you're teaching people how to treat you. If someone can't respect that, it's a sign that they're not the one for you. And let's be real. If he doesn't value you from the start, do you really want him chasing you? Think about it like this. Would you chase after a bargain bin item at the store that's constantly on sale and marked down? Probably not. But a high-end designer item with limited availability? That's a different story. When you recognize your own worth, you stop settling for anything less than the best. And that, my friend, makes you irresistible. You're not chasing anyone. You're attracting the kind of person who sees your value from the get-go. So let's break it down. When you respect yourself, you're telling the universe and everyone around you that you're a woman of high value. And men, they'll chase that all day long. But here's the key. It all starts with you. When you value your time, your energy, and your love, the right people will naturally follow. They won't feel like they can take you for granted because you're not someone who will settle for less. You're like that diamond on display, shiny, beautiful, and impossible to ignore. Now, let's talk about how you can apply this in your own life. Next time you find yourself in a situation where you're tempted to overextend yourself or compromise your values, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, am I showing the world how much I value myself right now? If the answer is no, that's your cue to step back and reevaluate. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're being mean or distant. It means you're protecting your most valuable asset, you. And remember, respecting yourself isn't just about saying no to others. It's about saying yes to yourself. It's about honoring your time, your energy, and your heart. When you start respecting yourself, the universe has no choice but to align with that energy. People, especially men, will chase you because you're no longer available to just anyone. You've set the bar high, and that's incredibly magnetic. So here's your affirmation for today. I am a diamond, rare and valuable. Say it out loud, write it in the comments, and remind yourself every day that you are worthy of the best. When you respect yourself, you set the stage for everything else to fall into place. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Wait until you see what's coming next. It's going to take things to the next level. Number 2, confidence that speaks volumes. Confidence is like walking into a room with the power of a lion's roar, but it's not about being loud. It's about being heard without saying a word. Imagine this. You walk into a crowded room and suddenly everyone seems to be drawn to you without you even saying a thing. Why? Because confidence doesn't need to shout to be felt. It's that energy you carry with you that says, I know who I am and I'm perfectly comfortable with it. Confidence is magnetic, and it's one of the most attractive qualities you can possess. Take, for example, a woman who walks into a coffee shop. She's not looking around for validation, not checking her phone every 2 seconds, or adjusting her outfit nervously. She's calm, collected, and focused on herself. She orders her coffee, sits down, and before she knows it, eyes are drawn to her. People notice her not because she's trying to impress, but because she exudes quiet confidence. She doesn't need to try to make a statement. Her presence alone is enough. Napoleon Hill once said, "You don't need to be the loudest in the room to be the most powerful." This couldn't be more true when it comes to confidence. You don't need to scream for attention or act overly dominant. True power lies in the ability to be comfortable in your own skin, in a way that makes others sit up and take notice without you even trying. Confidence is not about being the center of attention. It's about carrying yourself in a way that makes people want to be around you naturally. So, here's your affirmation for today. I am confident, and that speaks volumes. Write it in the comments, say it out loud, and remember that confidence doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. When you walk with confidence, the world notices. And trust me, you won't want to miss the next secret. It's about to get even more exciting. Number 3, emotional independence, the strength to stand alone. Think of yourself as a tree standing tall in a storm. The winds may blow, the rain may pour, but you remain strong, grounded, and independent. Just like that tree, emotional independence means having the strength to stand on your own, no matter what life throws your way. It's about being resilient and not relying on anyone else to keep you steady or happy. When you build emotional independence, you attract those who respect your strength and can't help but admire your ability to stand firm. Take Sarah's story, for example. At work, she faced a tough situation. Her team was under a lot of pressure, and everything seemed to be falling apart. While her colleagues were venting and turning to their partners for emotional support, Sarah kept her cool. She didn't run to her boyfriend for comfort. Instead, she handled the situation with grace and focus, making the best decisions she could. Later, when she did speak to her partner about it, she wasn't seeking sympathy. She simply shared her experience. She had already solved her problems independently, and that made her even more powerful in his eyes. Napoleon Hill wisely said, "What we can do, or what we think we can do, we do." This speaks to the power of belief in yourself. If you believe you can handle life's challenges on your own, then you will. Emotional independence isn't about rejecting help. It's about knowing you can rely on yourself first and foremost. It's about feeling strong enough to face challenges head on, knowing that no matter what, you've got this. So here's your affirmation for today. I am strong and self-sufficient. Write it in the comments, repeat it like a mantra, and remind yourself every day that emotional independence is your superpower. And just wait, what's coming next is going to make you even more magnetic. Number 4, mystery. Keep him guessing. Think of your life like a good book. Don't give away the ending too soon. Keep him flipping pages, wondering what happens next. When it comes to attraction, mystery is your best friend. You don't have to tell him everything about yourself right away. The best stories are those where you reveal just enough to keep the reader hooked, always craving more. The same goes for relationships. If you lay it all out at once, the magic can fade too quickly. But when you keep a little bit back, leaving him curious about your next chapter, that's when the real excitement begins. Take Emma, for example. She was seeing someone new, and instead of oversharing about her entire life on their first date, she gave just enough to pique his interest. When he asked about her hobbies, she didn't go into every detail. Instead, she said, "I love trying new things, but I'll tell you more about that later." She kept the conversation light and playful, giving him little glimpses into her world, but always leaving him wanting more. After their date, he couldn't stop thinking about her, wondering about all the things she hadn't revealed. He was hooked, eager to know what else she had in store. That's the power of mystery. As Napoleon Hill once said, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. This quote speaks to the art of mystery because every time you hold something back, you create space for curiosity and desire to grow. The unknown is powerful. The more you withhold, the more he will be intrigued by what's hidden, and the more he will chase that feeling of wanting to know more. Here's a fun tip. Don't be afraid to leave some blanks in the story. Keep a little mystery in your interactions and leave him thinking about you long after your conversation ends. When he's wondering about your next move, that's when he'll feel the pull to reach out again. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. It's going to make this mystery even more irresistible. Number 5, self-care. Love yourself first. You're like a car. If you don't fuel yourself properly, you'll run on empty. Take care of your engine before you take it on the road. Self-care isn't just about bubble baths and face masks, though those are nice too. It's about nourishing your mind, body, and spirit so that you can show up as your best self in all areas of life. When you prioritize self-care, you're telling the world that you value yourself. And when you value yourself, others will naturally value you too. Take Lisa's story, for example. She had been in a relationship where she'd often put her partner's needs ahead of her own. Over time, she realized that she was feeling drained and disconnected from her own passions. So she made a change. She started prioritizing her health by going to the gym, scheduling regular catch-ups with her friends, and diving back into her hobbies, things she'd neglected for far too long. And you know what happened? Not only did she start feeling better about herself, but her relationships, romantic and platonic, became much stronger. She wasn't dependent on anyone else for her happiness. She was already complete, and that made her even more attractive. Napoleon Hill said, "Your first love should be yourself. Only then will others fall in love with you." Think about it. If you're not taking care of yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? Self-love isn't selfish, it's essential. When you fill your own cup, you have so much more to give to others. And when you take time to invest in your own well-being, you become magnetic. People are drawn to that energy. People who are already whole and not looking to fill a void with someone else. So here's your affirmation for today. I love myself first, and that makes me irresistible. Say it out loud, write it in the comments, and remember that when you prioritize your own well-being, everything else falls into place. Trust me, what's coming next will take your self-care to the next level, so stick around. Number 6, the art of subtle flirting. Flirting is like seasoning in a dish. It's there, but you don't want to overdo it. A pinch is all it takes to make him crave more. Think of it like adding a dash of spice to your favorite meal. Too much, and it's overwhelming. Just the right amount, though, and it leaves him wanting another bite. Flirting is an art, not a performance, and when done with subtlety, it creates intrigue and attraction that lingers long after the conversation ends. Take Olivia's experience. She's at a party, chatting with a guy she's interested in. Instead of overwhelming him with compliments or oversharing, she uses playful banter and eye contact to keep him on his toes. She'll lightly tease him about something he said earlier, then give a warm, knowing smile that leaves him wanting more. It's not about trying to get his attention. It's about letting him feel your energy without needing to say much at all. By keeping things light, fun, and a little mysterious, she draws him in without ever feeling like she's trying too hard. Napoleon Hill wisely said, "The way to develop the best that is in a person is by appreciation and encouragement." This quote connects beautifully with the art of subtle flirting. Flirting isn't about trying to impress someone. It's about showing appreciation for who they are, engaging in a lighthearted way, and encouraging connection. It's about making him feel good in your presence, leaving him feeling uplifted and curious about you without pushing or forcing anything. So here's your affirmation for today. I flirt with ease and confidence. Write it in the comments, say it out loud, and remind yourself that subtle flirting is your secret weapon. A little goes a long way, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Things are about to get even more fun. Number 7, emotional resilience, handling life's challenges gracefully. You're like a rubber band, flexible but unbreakable. Life's challenges stretch you, but you snap right back into place. Emotional resilience is all about bouncing back from life's curveballs with grace and strength. It's about handling the ups and downs without letting them define you or drain your energy. Like that rubber band, you may stretch and bend, but you'll never break. You remain strong and capable no matter how tough the situation gets. Take Amanda's story, for example. She had been in a serious relationship that ended unexpectedly. While many of her friends were offering sympathy and suggesting she move on quickly, Amanda took a different approach. Instead of wallowing in heartbreak, she focused on herself. She took time to reflect on the lessons the relationship had taught her, spent time with her friends, and even picked up a new hobby she had always wanted to try. It wasn't easy, but she handled it with grace. She didn't let the breakup define her. Instead, she grew stronger, and by the time she was ready to meet someone new, she was emotionally grounded, mature, and ready for a healthy relationship. Napoleon Hill said, "Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle." This is exactly what emotional resilience is all about. It's not about avoiding challenges, it's about growing through them. Life will always throw obstacles your way, but your ability to face them with a calm heart and an open mind is what makes you magnetic. When you handle adversity with strength, others take notice. They see your emotional maturity and are drawn to your grounded, confident energy. So here's your affirmation for today. I am strong, resilient, and unbreakable. Write it in the comments, say it out loud, and remind yourself that emotional resilience is your superpower. Life's challenges won't break you. They'll only make you stronger. And stick around, because what's coming next will take your resilience to the next level. Number 8, pursue your passions, be your own hero. You're the lead role in your own movie. If you're not pursuing what excites you, you're just sitting on the sidelines. Imagine this. Your life is a film, and you're the star. Every choice you make, every passion you follow, is part of your unique storyline. If you're not actively chasing what lights you up, it's like you're watching your own movie from the couch, waiting for something exciting to happen. But when you take charge of your story, when you pursue your passions with confidence, you step into the spotlight and make everyone else want a front row seat. Take Zoe, for example. She worked in marketing, but her real passion was photography. Instead of just talking about it, she started dedicating time to perfecting her craft. She spent weekends at workshops, took trips to capture the world through her lens, and even started her own photography blog. As she became more involved in her passion, something amazing happened. She started attracting people who admired her drive and independence. One of them was someone who respected her not just for her looks, but for her energy, ambition, and the way she pursued life with purpose. They connected not because of how she looked, but because of the fire in her eyes when she talked about her passions. Napoleon Hill once said, "The starting point of all achievement is desire." This quote is key. Desire is the spark that ignites action. It's the energy behind every great achievement, and it starts with pursuing what you love. When you're passionate about something, you radiate that energy, and it naturally attracts others who are drawn to your ambition and zest for life. People don't want to be with someone who's just sitting around waiting for things to happen. They want to be with someone who's out there making things happen. So here's your affirmation for today. I am the hero of my own story. Write it in the comments, say it out loud, and remind yourself that the more you pursue what excites you, the more irresistible you become. Keep your passions alive, because what's coming next will help you take that energy to new heights. Number 9, be playful and fun. Laughter is irresistible. Imagine this. You're like sunshine on a rainy day, bright, uplifting, and impossible to ignore. When you bring a sense of fun and playfulness into any situation, you light up the room without even trying. Laughter, joy, and a lighthearted approach to life are incredibly magnetic. It's like you're this beam of positivity that draws people in, and they can't help but want to be around you. Life doesn't have to be all serious all the time. In fact, it's the playful moments that create the most memorable connections. Take Jessica, for example. She was at a casual get-together with friends, and the conversation turned awkward. Instead of letting the tension linger, she cracked a light-hearted joke about the situation and made everyone laugh. She laughed at herself and didn't take things too seriously. By doing so, she not only broke the ice, but she also became the center of attention without even trying. Her ability to find humor in any situation and to not be afraid to laugh at herself made her completely irresistible. People were drawn to her energy because she made them feel at ease. She wasn't looking for validation. She was just enjoying the moment, and that carefree attitude was magnetic. Napoleon Hill once said, "A cheerful mind is a healthy mind." When you're playful and fun, you create an environment where everyone feels comfortable and happy. That energy is contagious, and it naturally attracts others. People want to be around someone who makes them laugh, someone who doesn't take life too seriously. When you embrace your playful side, you become more than just attractive. You become unforgettable. So here's your affirmation for today. I am playful, fun, and impossible to resist. Write it in the comments, say it out loud, and remind yourself that laughter is a powerful tool that makes you magnetic. And guess what? The fun doesn't stop here. What's coming next will make your playful side even more irresistible. Number 10, keep your own life, have your own world. Imagine yourself as an island. You're beautiful, independent, and self-sufficient. People want to visit your island, not move in permanently. Just like a tropical island, your life is complete on its own, full of adventure, beauty, and purpose. When you create your own world, you become an oasis that others want to be a part of, but not because they need to save you or complete you. They're drawn to you because you're whole and content on your own, and that makes you irresistible. Take Emma's story, for example. She had a fulfilling life filled with her passions, whether it was her career, traveling, or spending time with her friends and family. She didn't rely on a man to make her happy or define her happiness. She enjoyed solo adventures, went on spontaneous trips, and made sure her life was rich and vibrant without anyone's approval. Her independence was magnetic. When she met someone new, they were drawn to her not because she was waiting for someone to fill a void, but because she had her own world. She wasn't just a passive participant in her life. She was the creator of it, and that made her even more attractive. Napoleon Hill wisely said, "Your real wealth can be measured by the number of things you can afford to let go of." This applies beautifully to relationships. When you create space in your life for yourself, whether it's through your own hobbies, friendships, or dreams, you show that you're not dependent on someone else for fulfillment. You become a person of value, not because you need anything, but because you already have everything you need to feel whole. When you're content with your own life, you attract the right people who are interested in sharing your world, not taking it over. So here's your affirmation for today. I am complete on my own. Write it in the comments, say it out loud, and remind yourself that the more you create and enjoy your own world, the more you become magnetic. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. It's going to take this to a whole new level. Number 11, let him chase. Don't always be available. You're like a rare flower. People will only appreciate you more if they have to reach for you a little. Just like how a flower blooms in its own time, you don't need to be available all the time for someone to value your presence. Sometimes a little space and mystery go a long way in building desire. When you let him chase, you're not playing games. You're simply creating an environment where he has to appreciate you for who you are, and not just because you're always right there, ready to respond. Take Rachel's story. She was dating someone new, and while she was genuinely interested, she didn't jump to respond to every text right away. If he sent a message, she might take a few hours to reply, giving herself time to live her life and enjoy her day. Instead of rushing to keep the conversation going, she created healthy space between their interactions. And you know what happened? The more she didn't immediately text back, the more he found himself thinking about her. Her absence gave him the space to miss her, and as a result, he started chasing her more. The mystery of not always being available made him value her time and attention even more. Napoleon Hill said, "Don't chase love. Let it come to you naturally." This is the core of emotional attraction. When you make yourself constantly available, you might think you're being attentive, but in reality, you're making it too easy for him. Relationships are about balance, and sometimes a little distance helps to keep the connection alive. Letting him chase doesn't mean ignoring him or playing hard to get. It's about creating a natural flow where both parties are excited to invest in the relationship. So here's your affirmation for today. I am a rare flower and I bloom at my own pace. Write it in the comments, say it out loud, and remember that creating space will make him appreciate you even more. Trust me, you're going to love what's coming next. It's going to elevate this even further. Number 12, be supportive but not needy. So, ladies, be like a warm blanket, there when he needs it but not smothering him. In a relationship, it's essential to offer support and care, but just as important is knowing when to give space. A warm blanket is comforting, soothing, and always available, but it doesn't overwhelm you by constantly being in your face. It's about finding that perfect balance, being there when needed, but not overwhelming with constant neediness or dependence. Take Claire's story. She had been dating Mark for a few months, and although she admired his career ambitions, she made sure to support him without becoming dependent on his emotional validation. Instead of waiting for him to reassure her or needing constant attention, she focused on her own goals too. She encouraged him to pursue his dreams, and when he achieved something great, she celebrated with him. But she didn't rely on him for her own happiness. She had her own passions, goals, and life outside of the relationship. This created a healthy, interdependent dynamic where both of them could grow individually and together without either feeling smothered or overwhelmed. Napoleon Hill wisely said, "You are the master of your destiny. You can influence, direct, and control your own environment." This quote is a powerful reminder that you are in control of your life and your emotional well-being. You don't need to rely on anyone else for your happiness or sense of self-worth when you can stand strong in your own space, offering support without becoming emotionally dependent. You create a relationship based on mutual respect and admiration. You're not looking for someone to complete you. You're offering your best self to complement each other, which makes the relationship even more powerful. So here's your affirmation for today. I support, but I am not dependent. Write it in the comments, say it out loud, and remind yourself that being emotionally self-sufficient and supportive at the same time makes you irresistible. And there you have it, 12 powerful ways to make a man chase you, not because you're playing games, but because you've embraced the best version of yourself. When you know your worth, stay confident, and live life on your own terms, you'll naturally draw the right energy to you. Remember, you're a magnet for respect, love, and admiration when you focus on yourself first. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing content, and share this video with someone who needs a little love advice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.